Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 2009's Moon. Before we get started, if you want to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, you can follow us at Kiss the Reviews. And as always, if you want to follow us on Patreon, I don't know why I'm pointing at Corey, but if you want to follow us on Patreon,
And my Patreon?
yes, that's Corey.
Hello, I'm Patreon.
You can follow us at Kiss the Reviews. You can subscribe. It's the lowest one. It's like a couple of bucks. We got a couple of different tiers in there, but you can watch all the extras and all the pre-show stuff that we talk about. You can subscribe to the Amy Chronicles that happen before the show is recorded every week, and it's a good time. It's a good time had by all. So, and no ads. So,
Yes.
With that said, let's get into the cast of Moon. This film stars one person. This film stars Sam Rockwell as Sam Bell and Kevin Spacey's creepy voice as GERTY.
Okay, so you brought up Kevin Spacey's creepy voice. I was going to try and avoid this because we've talked about Kevin Spacey, and he's one of the ones that got caught up in all the bullshit where I'm just like, I have a hard time watching. And it's just because of the way he delivers lines, and it just comes off generally rapey anyway. So knowing you're raping 14-year-old boys, I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
gross. All I can see is poor little Anthony Rapp's face. It's like he just wants to sing in musicals. Why you gotta do that? But anyway,
yeah.
long story short, I have a hard time with him. So watching this movie, at first I was like, oh, dude, he's just the robot. Be easy. And then it's like the clone wakes up and I'm like, oh no, all these clones keep dying because he's just fucking them while they're asleep. Like, that's his MO, bro. Like, why don't you go back to sleep so I can nut and bolt into you?
Would you like some hot sauce on your beans?
I'll never watch Moon again because now I'm thinking the robot's like finger blasting Sam while he's sleeping every single night for 3 years, and all the clones. But his voice was adjusted just enough as the robot voice where I almost wasn't like, it took me out of it. Like, I didn't even go, oh, well, that's his voice.
Yeah, like, it was fine. It really was. I know
Oh,
a
I
lot
know.
of people draw hard lines in the sand with some of this, and that's cool. I totally respect that decision. But at the same time, if you're just like, I kind of want to watch a good movie, I don't give a fuck, this is good. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not that, like, it's not over the top Kevin Spacey like Baby Driver where he's like, that's my baby, looking at fucking teenage boys like he's hungry as fuck.
Ugh.
Yeah, so this is tolerable for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but this movie starts off with the commercial from Lunar Industries. And apparently, like, the Earth had the energy crisis, most of the coal and oil and natural resources and whatever are pretty much gone. And the new primary source of energy now is helium-3, which they get on the moon. There's only
And
one.
believe it or not, this is real. Like, I double checked it, but there's a couple interesting facts. One, this is a very real thing and a very real possibility. Being helium-3, mainly because it's non-radioactive fusion.
Yeah.
So you can achieve that same energy without the radiation if there was an accident or something bad were to happen. So, good. But again, extraordinarily scarce on Earth, and it's all over the moon.
Yeah.
And apparently, when this movie came out, I did research.
Wow.
How about that, bro?
Look
It's
at
science.
you.
You know I'm going to do the research on this one. So when this movie came out, they invited some people from NASA to the premiere. And after the premiere, the guys from NASA basically told the director, like, this is actually in the works for multiple countries. And that's when this movie came out, which was a fucking minute ago. So fast forward to today, Look at all the fucking India, Japan, China, us going back. But everybody's going back to the moon right now. My guess is this is why. This is what they're looking for.
TikTok told me that's all a deep fake.
Okay. Because China wants all your helium-3. Why don't you wake up, America? They're coming for you, and they're going to make frogs gay with helium-3 injections through chemtrails over swampland in red states. I love you. God bless America.
I did my research, and helium-3 does make the frogs gay.
That hurt my throat a lot.
But so there's only one person on the crew on the moon that mines all the helium-3. His contract is for 3 years. It's Sam Bell. And we see him, he's, goes out to like the little mining transmitter deals. He collects all that. So he's got his little Land Rover that he's driving around. He takes the helium-3 from the harvester and then shoots it back down to Earth. And due to a satellite being jammed, the Sam's only connection to anything really is GERTY, the robot who controls the whole base.
Mm-hmm.
I like this movie because it's I've said it before in other movies like this. This is pretty simple. I like this one a little bit more because it's not just on the base. Like you have him in the Land Rover going to the harvester and yada, yada, yada. But like essentially it's him. And it's him by himself. And he's such a really good actor. Like there's a short list of actors in a role like this who can pull this kind of thing off and make it interesting. Because if he's not in this or an actor like him isn't in this, this film is pretty fucking boring because it's just him being with himself the entire time.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking the whole time too. First off, I'm a huge Sam Rockwell guy. He's one of those actors where he can do anything at any time and he's fucking fantastic at it. I don't care what the role is.
Yeah.
That said though, yeah, no, I had the exact same thought. Like anybody else would have struggled. Like it reminded me a lot of Sandra Bullock doing Gravity. You know what I mean? Like you need that heavyweight actor to come in and be able to, like you said, captivate and keep your attention because it is just them. And even in this, where he has the clone, so he gets to bounce off himself, and she has George Clooney in Gravity, so they get to bounce off themselves. You have that there for some comic relief and to further the story along, but for the most part, you have to have somebody that can be charismatic, but also not over the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not charming throughout this movie. He's not sexy throughout this movie. He's just a guy doing a job at the end of an extraordinarily long work contract.
Yeah, and he does a really good job of playing basically two different people because even though it's him, they have two like vastly different personalities. And to be able to pull that off when you're basically just talking to nothing, talking to a green screen. So,
and we'll get to the difference in the clones before, but that's one of my favorite parts.
No,
in the writing of this movie is that.
Yeah,
and I also like how they're setting this up at the beginning. I like how they're setting this up at the beginning too, because it has this air of like Alien or 2001.
Yeah.
Right, with the computer and Hal, and you're just kind of getting this sense of unease immediately.
Oh, absolutely. And you get that right from the opening, of him. He's got the beard, but he finally gets a haircut and a shave because he's going back home in 2 weeks because his 3-year contract is up, right? But you see him with the videos from his wife and his daughter, with the videos from the lunar people, the company. But he starts hallucinating here. So he's filling his glass up with hot water. He sees this woman that was in his seat where he was sitting. He gets distracted. He burns his hand and he lies to the computer. He lies to Gertie and says that he was watching TV and that's how he burned his hand. Um, but he starts going down and at least you see as the viewer, like, okay, he's been there almost 3 years. He's got 2 weeks left. He's starting to go like a little nuts and he's just seeing things.
Yeah, I honestly like I had never seen this movie before. I'd seen the cover numerous times, never
Yep.
bothered to read the description or anything like that. Just kind of skip past it. I don't know why. Just one of those things where it's just like, oh, there's always something else. You know what I mean? You put on an
Yep.
old familiar and sit back and chill. So I didn't know where this was going to go. I didn't know if this vision was
Same.
a ghost girl, if it was an alien, if he's going crazy, if the computer's projecting shit to fuck with him, like like a Stanford experiment sort of situation. I
Yep.
had no idea where this was going. Having watched it now, can somebody tell me what the point of that was?
So I was
Because who's the
thinking about
girl?
it. Well, I was thinking about it and post movie because I was
Mhm.
like, that never comes back. They never describe or mention this girl that he's seen because he sees her twice. He sees her once
Yeah.
here, and then he sees her the second time when he's on the rover and he crashes it. And this is
Mhm.
where he gets conked out. But I think, and I don't know, because again, I didn't do any research, science or not. Um, but when he makes the video call later in the movie and he's talking to his daughter, like she can't see him, but he can see her. Is it his daughter? Because she's got long black hair, right? I believe the woman in the thing has long black hair. I, memories and things because he's a clone, but he doesn't know that you know what I mean? So that was the only like connection that I brought, but I have no idea. That was the one thing that I either missed or if I didn't miss it, I'm upset about that they never went back and said like this is who that is.
Same. 100%. Same. That was my probably my one and only real complaint with the
Yeah,
entire movie was just
absolutely.
that like I just didn't understand that
Yeah.
because it seemed like, oh shit, like we're setting up for something a little supernatural and a little freaky.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, nah, not really.
Not really. Kinda, sorta, but not really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get the him crashing the rover. He sees the girl again, crashes the rover. And then he wakes up in the infirmary, and Gertie has been monitoring his health. He asks Sam if he remembers anything from the crash. Sam doesn't. Gertie tells him to go back to sleep. And then later, Sam gets up, walks around the base. He overhears Gertie talking to Lunar Industries on like a live chat, like live
Hmm.
feed. And Gertie, realizing that Sam is near there, shuts the whole shit down. He's like, all right, cool story, bro. I gotta go. New phone, who dis? And then he just kind of hangs up on the guys. And um later on, uh Sam also confronts Gertie about talking live to the company. Gertie says that yeah, you're seeing things. You're fucked up when the goddamn robot is like, you're seeing things, guy. You're just hearing things. It's because you took a bump on the noggin. Like the
Dude,
computer's lying to you now.
this is where I started getting freaked. Anytime the AI starts lying to you, that's where I'm like, dude, I will literally just
Yep.
I'm not fucking with the computer. I'm not trying to compete. I can't beat a computer on beginner's level chess. I ain't fucking in a life or death situation on the goddamn moon. You
Yep.
win, computer. I'll do whatever
Yes.
you want. Especially when you're like, hey, what's going on? Are you hungry? What?
Did the robot just change the subject on me?
Yeah. Do I
That's
need
fucked
to?
up.
What the fuck is happening? Am I hungry? And then it's like, yeah, of course I'm hungry. Like, let's go eat. And then you forget about it.
Yeah.
Like this
Computer's like,
robot's a son of a bitch.
yeah. Gertie's like, you need some num nums in your tum tum? I'm like, yeah, I am. Do we got any
I-
gushers on this bitch?
do, Gertie. I really do.
We got fruit roll-ups? Give me some fucking fruit roll-ups. I'm starving. So Sam sabotages the base here to keep Gertie busy because he keeps
Mhm.
asking about like the rover and the thing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they're sending a whole like rescue thing, and they're gonna fix the shit and whatever." So he sabotages the base while Gertie's fixing it. He just steals one of the rovers, drives out, and sees himself in the crashed rover, and takes himself back to base. And this is where like everything starts to unravel.
Yeah, and okay, so I have a secondary complaint, possibly, with
Okay.
this movie. So he ruptures the fuel line, right? And as the robots are repairing it, he's telling Gertie, like, we're leaking fuel everywhere. Like, I gotta go outside and make sure the structural integrity is still upheld. Cool. I admit, I don't know what helium-3 turned into fuel is like, but presumably when you're getting all of that on you as it's doing, you would have to decontaminate, and he's just wearing that fucking suit. Like, I don't understand that part of it. Like, he's covered in this fuel.
Agreed.
Unless it is literally just a gas.
Here's the other thing. I think it's just a gas because when they do the shot from back, you just see
Mhm.
like the waves of it.
Yeah.
Like, so it looks like a gas. But here was my issue with it. Gertie's a computer. Logical, must compute. The minute Gertie checks out that shit, he'd be like, "Oh, we got a break in the line. How about it looks like a knife stabbed the shit, and you're standing there with a knife, jackhole. You're not fucking going anywhere, guy. I'm shutting this shit down.
Right.
This line isn't broken; it's sliced open."
And here's where I think this is interesting too, because you are right. Gertie should have been like, say less. I'm done. But as we later find out, Gertie is actually on like his side,
Yeah,
right? Like they make it seem like Gertie is totally going to be against Sam. It's a company computer. It's going to do the company's bidding. That's what it's there to do.
yeah.
But that is not the case. So it's almost like because Sam just simply wanted to go outside, Gertie was like, I know you're fucking lying, but just go. Like,
Yeah.
I know you're not gonna
Like,
stop until you get to do what you want, so just fucking go.
they should have, instead of Kevin Spacey, they should have given fucking Gertie my wife's voice. And it'd be like, dude, like the line's broke. Like I totally got to go outside and check it'd be like a normal argument in our house on like a Tuesday. I
Mhm.
gotta go outside. And she's just like, be like, mm-hmm. You just gotta go outside. You gotta check out the structural integrity of the thing, do ya? Like Gertie would just be busting Sam's balls throughout this whole fucking show.
That would be amazing if Gertie did that. No, Gertie, I'm making feel everywhere. I'm making feel everywhere.
That's exactly what it would do.
I gotta go check the structural integrity. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Like,
Dude, Gertie would literally turn around at every scene and go, just tell me you want to go outside. Just tell me you want to go outside. And I'll let you go. Why you gotta lie? Why you always gotta lie to me?
Right? At this point, you know what? Go outside. No helmet, though. How bad you want to go outside?
I don't appreciate that. It's being treated like a child. I don't appreciate it.
So Sam 1 wakes up. Well, it's either Sam 1 and 2 or Sam A and B. So Sam 1, original Sam, wakes up. He's in the infirmary. Sam 2 sees him in the room. Sam 1 sees Sam 2. It's like a whole thing now. So he asks Gertie who the other dude is, but Gertie has Sam 1 just go. He's like, shh, go back to sleep. Like, this is where my wife comes in. She's like, shh, go back to sleep.
Sam, get some sleep. You're very tired.
Anytime Kevin Spacey goes, shh, go back to sleep, that's the moment you wake the fuck up and run.
100%.
Dead ass, not even a PSA. Get the fuck out of there.
Hell yes.
Dude, Gertie was like, shh, go back to sleep. Does that smell funny to you? Sam was like,
Hey,
no.
Sam wakes up and is like, where am I? Hey, Sam, smell my finger.
It's that 3 claw thing. It just comes out just with 1 claw out.
Smell my finger.
Oh my god. So later on, Sam 2 thinks that they're clones, basically. So of the real Sam Bell. So he starts going on like this mission to find the clone room in the thing. So he's ripping everything apart, breaks up Sam 1's like whole model of his hometown or whatever, looks under, doesn't find shit. So they argue and they actually get into a fight here. It's like they're like basically going to start stabbing each other at this point.
What I like here, why they're having this fight,
Yeah,
is this is where it becomes clear if you're paying any sort of attention, because Sam 1 is all fucked up still from the crash,
yeah,
right? Like he can't really walk right, which
Yeah.
was also Sam 2's problem when he got up, as he couldn't really walk. Which, side note, Emma Stone in what is it, the All the Pretty Things or whatever, the one she just won for,
yeah,
and Sam Rockwell clearly went to the same I'm learning how to walk as a human acting class, because it's the exact same fucking thing. It's crazy how identical that is.
yeah,
But regardless, they both do a good job. So you think they're both just kind of fucked up and woozy from being, sleep deprived or being under for so long. And as it turns out, this is like when he elbows Sam 2, elbows Sam 1 above the eye, and all that blood comes out.
yeah,
That's where you're like, oh shit, they're clones. And
Yeah.
he's just completely breaking down.
yeah,
Like that's where it's like his shelf life is 3 years.
yes.
That's when you wake
Well,
up
and
the
this-
new one. Da da da
Yep.
da.
And this is where GERTY reveals to
Mm-hmm.
them that they're in fact clones.
It is standard procedure for all new clones to be given tests to establish mental stability and general physical health.
So these clones are basically woken up in the infirmary when they're, hey, you're fresh new Sam. You got 2
Mhm.
weeks left, guy. They're woken up and they have implanted memories, and this is a lot of trouble to go through for this company. If I know anything about corporate America and how companies work and things, sure, if they have the ability to clone people, they probably will. And probably is a light term. It's 99.9% sure they're cloning motherfuckers, okay? But the company's not going to go through all this trouble because they are clones to like, let's implant a memory and a like if you're able to do stuff like that, just implant like, hey, you're so happy here, you could do this for another fucking 10 years. Like, what are we doing here? Why are you
Well, because
implanting memories of family and shit?
I get it though. You have to create that want. Like there's a finish line. You don't just run a marathon to keep fucking running. There's a finish line somewhere that motivates you. And all of these clones clearly are imperfect because they only have a shelf life of 3 years. So instead of taking new people up there, paying somebody, which if a corporation can get away with not paying fucking workforce, history has shown they're going to do it. Thanks,
100%.
iPhone. But I understand where they're kind of going with it, having all these memories coming off of like, oh, you got here and there was an accident, and now we're ready to start your 3 years kind of thing, and having tests, and it all seems much more realistic to that clone, because if it doesn't, clearly they have some sort of sentient ability where they're just going to be like, this fucking smells like shit. Something's going on here.
Yeah, possibly. That makes sense. That makes more sense to me.
Like, who was I back on? You know what I mean? Like, who was I on Earth? Why am I here? I'm just a happy worker? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because I'm an American. There's no such thing as a happy working American.
Yeah. No, that
as
makes
we get
sense.
told all the time. Suck it up.
Yeah.
Get a real job. Be like this.
But these guys start investigating the area for jammers to the satellite because now they're suspicious of fucking everything. So Sam 1 goes back to the base. He finds the secret room with all the clones. Both Sams go down, they check it out. Sam 1 suits up, he goes outside again. He drives past the towers and calls his home on Earth. His daughter answers and he realizes that she's now like 15. Sam Bell, he hears his own voice in the background.
Mhm.
She's like, this was kind of creepy, like clone, no clone, whatever. This was kind of creepy. Like you're calling home and it's like, oh my God, my daughter's 15. First of all, how fucking long have I been here? Second of all, my wife, who I thought left me, is actually dead. Third of all, why do I hear myself in the fucking background? This is bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
this is super fucked up.
this was a lot,
Yes.
and he does a really good job here. Like, because he's hiding his face, he won't go on camera,
Yep.
so it doesn't fuck her up. He understands, like, oh, like you're Tess, you're 15 years old. Oh my gosh. But she's like, you're my daughter. But then she says, like, oh no, my mother died quite some time ago. And he immediately breaks down and is like, what? Like, when did mommy die? When did mommy die, sweetie? Like, tell me when I'm like, yo, like that just completely breaking down and only knowing her as this baby
Yeah.
or is this little infant that just was able to say like daddy astronaut, like
Yeah.
going from that to then having to have this 15-year-old person conversation about their dead mother.
Yep.
Whoa. And
Um,
he did such a good job with it.
yeah. And by the way, I got a quick don't do that.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
Hi, everybody out there. So you grew up, and I'm sure this girl knew that her dad was an astronaut and things and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, she probably knows that, yes, dad was an astronaut. Yeah, maybe not all the intricacies, but if somebody calls your house and asks for your dead mom, and when you say she's dead, he starts going, oh no, baby girl. Oh no, baby girl. When did mommy die? Hang the fuck up. Hang the fuck up. And then immediately go to your dad like, yo, you just called me and asked where the fuck mom was. Like, is this bitch from the past? Is this bitch from the future? Like, where is this dude go? Is he on the moon? I'm asking questions all around. Don't continue to stay on the phone with this creep who's almost in tears going, oh, baby girl, where's mama? Don't do that.
I'm going to go a step further and say, probably much more realistically than your cloned father calling you crying, there's probably some creeper on the other end going, oh, mommy, tell me about mommy. Like, dude, like, that's an obscene phone call. That is
Yes.
a police you should be calling
Yes.
after that and then telling your dad.
The most obvious answer is probably the correct one. So you've got a 99% chance that it's the creeper jerking his dick versus your fucking space dad, space
And there's
clone
a
dad calling.
And there's a 65% chance it's Armando on the other end of the phone.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
So Sam here hangs up. He goes back to base. Sam 2 sees that the original Sam's health is starting to deteriorate. So he puts him to bed. And Sam 2 then finds the video link of this whole call. He replays the last call and he sees all that. And Sam 2 tells GERTY that they found the clone room. He wants him to wake up another clone. And so the plan is here to put Sam 1, OG Sam, into the helium-3 like canister thing that they shoot out to Earth, send him back to Earth so he can go on vacation or do whatever, right? Because he looks like fucking hot death right now. And OG Sam is like, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna die. Cough, cough, blood, blood. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die. You seem pretty healthy. I think you should go back yourself. So now we have the whole role reversal. They have the rescue people coming in. So they got to do all this shit before the rescue people get there. Because if they see multiple Sams, they're fucking killing everybody.
Yeah, and okay, this is what I don't understand. Like, genuinely, I don't get this plan. Why are any of you going back? She has a dad. You're going to fuck this kid up being like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm clone dad number. This isn't Multiplicity with Michael Keaton where it's like, ha ha ha, look at all the hijinks all my clones are getting. This is going to fuck this kid up. Like, one, you have a shelf life of 3 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Honestly, like, when they found out that this real Sam Bell is still on Earth,
Yeah.
that plan should have been completely shit canned, and they need to come up with something else.
Yeah.
Because I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what the answer to that is. It's definitely not, I'm going to go down to Texas or wherever she lives and knock on her fucking front door. That's one. Two, you know what I would do? I would just wake up like 4 or 5 at a time and be like, hey, we're all clones. But like, can we get like an Xbox up here and start playing video games? Or let's get goddamn Monopoly. Like, let's fucking party. What are we doing?
No, we don't need that shit. Let me tell you something. We wake up 6 or 7 Corys, we fucking.
Let me in, I'm trying to fuck.
I mean, you can't be banging all the time. You got to play like cards or whatever, like in downtime.
Nope. Peanuts, Gatorade, fuck.
You're not even going out to the helium fucking things anymore.
We got like, 3 years. We got 3 years. We're just playing fucking Pony by Genuine on repeat, and we are getting into it.
Hell yes.
Dude, the fucking rescue team shows up and you're like, it was a spooky ghost. It's just spider webs on everything.
Oh, Kevin Spacey robots just got the biggest fucking emoji grin ever.
Oh,
he's just watching it all go down like he's Caligula. Like, it's breaking off.
You guys would have banged the robot. I know you would have banged the robot.
Dude, every inch of that place is getting fucked over the course of 3 years.
Dude, Gertie's like, it wasn't supposed to be me. It wasn't supposed to be me.
I'm fucking the fuel line. Like, that knife cut kind of looks like a fucking sled. I can get. And then when he like that thing's like, I died because I fucked the fuel line. Just fire up the next clone.
Oh my God. So apparently the plan here is to put the new clone in the crashed rover.
Their plan.
And yeah, their plan. What did
My plan's to fuck.
Well, yes. Your plan's always to fuck. So let's
you
move
said the plan, and I'm like, it's not the definitive plan. It's their plan.
So their plan is to put the new clone in the crash rover, send Sam 1 home in the helium-3 thing. This whole thing gets turned around. So Sam 2 takes Sam 1 because he's too sick, takes him to the crash rover, throws him in there, leaves him to die. He gets back to base, plans to launch himself back to Earth, reboot GERTY so corporate can't find out, and basically leave before rescue help arrives, right? And he finally launches, and right before he does a little beep boop beep into the computer. So he enters this command, and that destroys the towers that are jamming the signal. So it sets the signal live in the base. So the new Sam will actually have a live link, whatever. But the movie ends with Sam 2 flying towards Earth, and he's hurtling towards Earth. And we hear the voiceover of like news reports saying that Lunar Industries stock dropped because of this controversy. that was leaked from Sam 2, who shows up on Earth and he's like, "Hey, I'm this guy's clone. What's going on?" And
They do the
apparently,
Spider-Man meme, and everybody's like, "Shut it down!"
exactly. So Sam 2 is apparently doing like the press junket now about the Clone Wars on the moon. And my favorite was the very last. It's almost just like the writers and director just gave him one of these at the very end. And it was like, "Hey, I don't know who this guy is, but like he's either an illegal alien and somebody needs to shut him the fuck up." Like, and that's the end of the movie credits. And I was like, "Oh, good on you. Conspiracy theorists unite."
Yeah, that was 80-year-old Marjorie Taylor Greene still in Congress.
You were correct.
Oh my god. But listen, at the end of this, like I said earlier, if you had another actor, like if I just told you what this movie was about, you'd be like, "It sounds interesting, but how long is it? That
Mhm.
sounds boring as fuck." Sam Rockwell does such a good job. It's paced well enough that you're not at the very beginning, because they got to give you all the stuff, like they're setting everything up. It is a little slow. It's slow to start, but once it picks up and he like crashes the rover, the rest of the movie's fantastic and it's paced really well.
Mhm.
But
No, this is I
I
can't
really liked it.
yeah, I can't sing his praises enough. I mean, this movie is absolutely worth watching. If nothing else, just to see a really good performance by him, especially playing the two roles. And what I like most about what they did there with the clones was Sam 2 was the I just got here for like the very beginning of my 3-year
Yeah.
contract, whereas Sam 1 was at the end of his. So you see, like when he first got there, he's talking about how he has problems with his wife and he had anger issues, and she's giving him the chance. So
Yeah.
this Sam 2, is just angry and has this temper that he had the problem with, whereas Sam 1, the older Sam, has had time to kind
Has
of chill
been.
out.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, it's such a good way not
Absolutely.
only to make their characters different so we can tell them apart, but also just a good way to showcase them as actors.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just really, really, really smart way of doing that by the writer, director, everybody involved. And if you haven't seen, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, 3 billboards. Sam Rockwell's amazing." He is. He is underrated as fuck for his performance in Seven Psychopaths. And I highly recommend,
Yes.
if for no other reason. I know there are a lot of people that don't like that movie, and I get it. That movie's a lot, and it's
Yeah.
kind of weird and janky and all over the place at times. But if you want to see a motherfucking performance, especially of a psychopath, Sam Rockwell is a genius in that. That is my favorite role of his, bar none.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. But I do want to, before we get out of here, I don't know if you have anything else, but before we get out of here, I want to give shout outs to Robert and Steph and Brian and Damien and April from Patreon, along with Christina. So I want to give a special shout out to Christina on Patreon, obviously follows us. She does a lot of our social media stuff too. So just wanted to give a special shout out to all of them. So a lot of times you don't know who you're talking to. You're talking to one of us though. It's either me, Corey, or Christina. So it's probably Christina, but she does a lot of stuff and helps us out on the back end. So I just wanted to throw some shout outs and especially to Christina for that. But if you want to follow us on Patreon and get some special love and all of that stuff, go to Patreon, either download the app or go to the website, look up Kiss the Reviews, and we'll have all the tiers and everything there. But that's all I got, man. Do you got anything else?
Nope, I just echo your sentiments. Thank you, everybody, for following us. Again, special thank you to Christina for working our back ends so well.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all I got.
Yes. All right. Well, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 2009's Moon.